Ready?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, as ready as I'm ever.
As ready as you're going to be, right? So, how do we know each other?
I know you from the KBAD Democratic Club that we have here in Buda and Kyle.
Which is Kyle Buda Area Democrats, right?
Uh-huh.
And how do we know Sherry?
Oh, Cherie and I are neighbors, and she has inherited my precinct.
Now, how did that happen?
Well, I asked her, and she had gotten really involved, and we met. She started thinking about it, and she's already been out there beating the sidewalks. She's already been knocking doors and talking and tough. And she found out what our precinct was, and she's already been working it. Really good.
Now, how long have you been in Hayes County?
Over 45 years.
So, you're not new. No.
Not hardly.
Now, how long were you a precinct chair? 20 years. So that was a long time.
Pretty good while.
Now, for those that don't know, Hayes County was red for how long?
Oh, gosh. Before I moved here in 84.
So it was really red.
I guess. I'm not positive about that, and I didn't really get involved. The way I got involved with the Democrats is Wendy Davis was filibustering just for the wider doors for the abortion clinic. And at church, 2 or 3 of my friends grabbed me by the arm and said, "We're going downtown to the Capitol to see the filibuster." And so I met several of the Democrats here in the area, and Sharon Reed and Betsy.
Is that what you're talking about? No.
Somebody else. Anyway, she's an elderly, long-time San Marcos Democrat. I'll think of her last name in a minute. But anyway, and the 3 of us, they took me and I said, "Come on, you're going to go with us." That was Nancy Ellis, Sharon Reed, and 2 or 3 other people, but I think it was the 3 of us, Sheila, that all rode to Austin together, and we watched the filibuster. Sharon Reed got my name, and she and Betsy came over to see me here in Kyle about a week later. They didn't let any time go by.
Yeah.
And they came and talked to me about being a precinct chair. And I said, "Well, I don't know how to do that. I've never done that, yada, yada." They said, "Oh, we've got it covered. We've got somebody that's going to teach a class," and yada. And I didn't feel comfortable at all.
You're
nervous about it because I really had no idea what a precinct chair did. And so we had some classes, and I just learned, but I wasn't a very effective precinct chair the first year.
I don't think very many of us believe that, but...
Well, because I didn't know what to do. And I was living in my other house. And I knew all those neighbors too. And so I just started talking to my neighbors. I found out I really liked it. I really enjoyed talking to my neighbors.
No one would accuse you of being shy.
No, my mother would vouch for that. I've never been shy. I tried to play like I was shy at one time, and it didn't work.
No one bought that. Now... So you were precinct chair for 20 years, and during that time, we've gone from red to purple, and now purple to now blue, essentially, right?
Yes.
What has that been like?
It's been overjoying. It has been a lot of work. It's been exhilarating when we would win. My first candidate that I really backed was Erin. I worked on her campaign in San Marcos and all over the first time she ran. And the bug bit. And so I just started going to see my neighbors, and I met Cherie sort of that way, didn't I? Going to your door?
Yes, I think you came down, walked across the street and down a few houses, and we had chatted.
Yeah.
And you gave me signs to put them on.
I was always passing outside. I've got one in my garage I need to plant right now.
Now, we kind of skipped past, but for those that don't know, can you explain a little bit about what a precinct chair does and how you become one and just how that works?
Well, It's not hard to become one.
We're always looking for people, right?
Always need. It takes a lot of commitment, and it just basically is getting to know your precinct, the people that are in your precinct, so that when you go to their door, they know who you are.
Right.
And so you have to go there 2 or 3 or 4 times before they really recognize who you are and what you're after. And sometimes people think we're trying to sell something, but we're not, except a candidate maybe. But
Sure.
Anyway, I just got started with it like that. And the more I was able to talk and more people I met, the more positive reinforcement I got. And our neighborhood is, I would say, at least 80% Democrat. And
That probably has no small part to do with you.
well, maybe. I did convert one guy. He was Pastor Tom.
I just chatted with him about you.
The first time Trump ran, he had a Trump sign in his yard.
Mm-hmm.
But he was outside a lot. And I was walking, and so we got to talking. And I just blatantly asked him, "Are you really going to vote for him?" As bold as you can get.
You're real shy. Yeah.
Anyway, and he was very nice. And he said, "Well, I don't know. I have got my reservations." And I said, "Well, Biden is running, and no, that was when Hillary was running." Right. And so I was like, "Well, don't you think it's time we have a woman president?"
Mm-hmm.
And several different things. And we would talk from time to time. He didn't have a Trump sign up in his yard the next time. And he did not vote for Trump that year. When I talked to him, and I talked to him about the negative things about Trump that I just despise, and he's a preacher, so he has values.
Right.
And so he ended up voting for Hillary. He's not, I asked him, this has been a couple of years ago, would you like to go with me to the county convention, the Democratic convention? I don't know if I've made it that far. Maybe Cherie will get him
He
back.
actually maybe has, because now he wants to help.
What? No kidding. There?
Talks about you finally.
See,
That is something.
yeah. Talk a little bit about just the relationships that you built up with your neighbors, right? Pastor Tom, but I've heard you talk about all the other neighbors too. You go there and kids' names and what they're into, and you invest a lot into these people.
Yeah, I know them. And not all of them are Democrats, but they don't mind me talking to them. And
Because that's not all you're there for.
no, I'm just
Right.
there to be a neighbor as
Right.
much as anything. And so I don't know. I do have the gift of gab.
And you don't say.
So I can always figure out a way to get a person involved in a conversation. I guess it is a gift.
It is.
Because I'm not, like you say, I'm not shy. I don't mind asking people questions.
Right.
And so I made friends with all my neighbors
Right.
in our 2 streets. Knew almost every one of them. 1 or 2 that have moved, that new people have moved in there. But basically, that first couple of years, I got to know all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, some moved in and out and what have you. But anyway, and our neighborhood is very easy to get to know your neighbors because our neighbors all get out and walk in the evening. Rain or shine, especially even in the heat of the evening, people are out walking. And so it's just a gift to have people that, and they'll stop and talk to you.
Right. It's funny because I was vice chair of our party for a while, and I was always looking for precinct chairs to bring on. And I would tell them what the job was. And I would always tell them, if you want to know how to be a precinct chair, go talk to Genest, right? Go talk to her, go follow her. That's what I expect of you. That's what I want you to be. So when I think of Grassroots in Texas, I think of you, right? And I think about Hays County and how we turned this place blue. And you had a lot to do with that.
I did, but I didn't even realize it. I just didn't. But it's been a joy. It really has been.
I think of you very much as a happy warrior. right? You going out there and you always have a smile on your face and always talking to people about kind of who you are and what your values are and why people should get involved, roll up their sleeves and do the work.
Right. Well, I may have had an edge up because my father was a politician.
That doesn't hurt.
No. And we campaigned with him. He took us around. He had these little envelopes. Mind you, this is in the late 50s, early 60s.
Right.
And we didn't have any money, but he had rubber stamps. And he had these little envelopes, and he put a little piece of gum in each envelope, and he had a stamp that he put, "Let Harding go to Austin to chew the fat for you." And and then he had another one. That's when Paladin was real popular. I don't know if you remember Paladin, but you're way too.
Yeah.
Anyway, my dad was a major Paladin fan, and so he printed his card with the horse. He had a horse. Do you remember him?
No, that didn't come to mind, right?
There was a TV show about a guy that was, I guess he was an old-time detective. And anyway, his name was Paladin. And he used to say and his slogan was, "How guns will travel." And Daddy put on there, "Austin for you." And no, it was guts.
Guts. I was like, guts. That makes more sense.
And so my little sister even got in trouble at school for that. She took it to school with her, of course, and it was guts, and she thought that was.
So, tell me a little bit about 20 years is a long time to do that, and that's a lot of work. Because, as we said earlier, it's a huge time commitment. You know, there's got to be a motivation for that. Why did you put so much blood, sweat, and tears into that?
Well, the bug bit, and I had done it with my dad, and I just liked it. I enjoyed talking to people, and I enjoyed talking to them about something that I was passionate about.
What are those things that you're passionate about? What are those values that drive you?
Well, I don't like to bring religion into it, but basically, to me, Democrats have Christian values. We take care of our neighbors. Mm-hmm. We are concerned about the poor. We're concerned about the wrongly accused people. We just tend to be more humane. I could no more vote to take a person's health care away from them than I could shoot a dog right out here in the middle of the road. Mm-hmm. That's just not something that I could ever do. And I believe in people having rights, mainly. And women need to be treated equally. Mm-hmm. And from the time that I was young, that has really evolved a lot.
Right.
Because back when I was a teenager, a woman could not have a mortgage, a woman could not have a credit card.
And I've also seen you not just talk, but also walk the walk of being inclusive of people from all walks of life who look all sorts of different kinds of ways, who talk different kinds of ways, who come from all different kinds of walks of life and backgrounds. Mm-hmm. I think you would agree with me that we believe in diversity, equity, inclusion.
That's one of the
right.
What do you call it? Indian, what do you call it?
Like a
teepee.
Basics, the building blocks.
So I just feel like that you should treat each other how you want to be treated. And I think that for me, I feel like that I don't feel as though I have ever overpaid my taxes. Mm-hmm. Even if I did, it didn't bother me. Mm-hmm. I have always felt like that my taxes were what I owed this country for getting to live here.
It's the debt that you owe for living in a civilized society.
And I can't imagine living in a place that is not a democracy.
Right.
This doesn't.
Right.
It's horrifying what's going on over in Gaza, and all of it just makes me sick. And in the name of God, that's what bothers me about it the most.
So tell me a little bit about It's kind of been such a weird transition for you to have gone from Hayes County being so red to it being purple to now we're blue. And now all of a sudden we've got some shenanigans going on.
Uh-huh.
You want to talk a little bit about what that's been like, just that transition of going through that process and just the adjustments of adjusting to this new sort of political reality that we find ourselves in Hayes County.
Well, you're not afraid to tell people that you're Democrat.
Right.
You're not afraid that you're going to start an argument with somebody over politics or over a lot of things, because there are more Democrats and more people that think the way I do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing I getting people to.
Oh, you're fine. We're kind of a new world, a new reality. You're in the majority now.
Majority. That's real nice. The other last week or Saturday before, and we wouldn't have had 20 Democrats there 20 years ago.
That's got to be kind of weird. You ever think about that? You're in the room and you see all these Democrats and you're just like...
I do. I was like, oh my God, I believe this. And we've grown out of our space there in Kyle that we're having the LBJ,
Mm-hmm.
and that's good. And there were so many people that showed up for that thing that we had in Dripping Springs. What was that?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, the name of that place. But yeah, I know what you're talking
That
about.
was really good.
Yeah.
Star was there.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. Tell me, when a candidate comes to you and they say, Genest, I want you to help me get elected. I want you to go tell your neighbors, vote for me. What is that candidate essentially asking you to do?
Represent them.
Yeah. Are they asking you to lend them your credibility?
Yeah, for sure. And I want to know that person. That's why I wanted to get to know you.
Yeah.
I have voted for people in the past that I didn't really know.
Mm-hmm.
I learned a lesson from that. And I know that we sometimes have some imposters. And that's something that we unfortunately have to watch out for.
Yeah.
They can really influence our vote. And when they're not truthful, that's a warning sign to me.
Yeah.
I've gotten older. I have gotten a lot more careful about. I research.
Yeah.
I vote.
How do you research? Where do you go?
Well, I go to the paper
Mm-hmm.
and I pay attention in that, because we have almost all of the candidates come and talk to us,
Mm-hmm.
and that is one of the greatest things I think, that if you're interested in politics, that's something that you benefit from the most, is to get into a Democratic club in your area. There are hundreds of them now.
Yeah.
That's how you meet the candidates. That's how you meet the fellow Democrats. What better friends to have than Democrats?
Yeah. When somebody comes to you and they say, I'm a Democrat, Genest, are they telling you that they share your values? Is that what they're saying?
They're saying that, but I'm going to follow up on that.
Right.
I do not promise to vote for somebody until I get to know them.
Right.
And I think because we have been so good at getting Hayes County blue, we've got some people that are trying to ride our coattails
Mm-hmm.
into the office and pose as Democrats, and they're not Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happened with that one guy,
Yeah.
which I was so thankful.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was thankful I could talk to you about it, because I didn't know anybody else to talk to about it, but I was like, I voted for that crap.
Yeah.
For me to, as far as knowing somebody, if they only come to one of our meetings,
Mm-hmm.
they're not a Democrat.
Yeah.
A wolf in sheep's clothing.
Right.
And I will talk to them
Sure.
and find out what they do, and find out if there's any information that I can find out about them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, getting in this business, you don't have as broad a trust
Sure.
of people as you would have at one time.
Yeah. It's such a new problem, right? New problem for us, right? I mean, it used to be that if you wanted to run for anything here in Hayes County, you ran as a Republican, right? That's how you won. Bit of a different world. What I respect the hell out of you for, one of the many things, is you were pushing Democrats come hell or high water, whether you were going to win or you were going to lose, right? For 20 years until now, you were pushing Democrats up and down the ballot, whether you were going to win or lose.
Right.
You pushed what you believed in.
Right.
And I guess what I'm getting at with you is, I can imagine being in your shoes, right? And you tell me if I'm off base here, but you spent 20 years trying to turn this place blue because of the values that you hold dear, the things that you're trying to see get changed in the world.
Yes.
And someone to come to you and say, hey, Genest, I'm a Democrat. I share your values. I want you to go tell your friends and your neighbors and these people that you've developed relationships with over decades. I want you to leverage your relationships with them to get me elected.
Asking a lot of questions.
Exactly, right.
A lot of questions.
But if that person is being dishonest with you, right, about who they really are and what they really believe in, and if I were you, I would find that pretty insulting.
Yeah, totally.
Right? I mean, it's kind of in your face about everything that you've put a whole lot of your life into.
Right. That's very irritating to think that they would do something like that.
Yeah.
I guess we have people that will.
Yeah.
That behooves all of us to make more inquiries, and that's why I think the clubs are such a major importance to all of the parties.
Right. Yeah, the thing that I have always just appreciated about you is that I got here, which was a while ago, but when I did, you were one of the first people that I met, and you talk to anybody, and you'll give anybody a fair shot and a fair shake, but you still have to prove yourself.
Yeah.
Not like as if you're going to your nose up at somebody, but you still have to put your time in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I put my time in. I researched you.
You did. So that's part of the reason why I wanted to sit down with you, and now Sherry's taking kind of over, and you're showing her the ropes. Is you talk a lot about kind of backbone of the party and people who are actually responsible for getting other on pavement and knocking on doors and convincing our neighbors and all the thousands and thousands of volunteer hours that go into that. Right? Not only you two, but you guys are very emblematic of that.
Yeah,
right. And so you really think about that. Most people are not aware of just the amount of work that goes into that. I had no idea when you first signed up. Things going with you jumping in.
She used to feel.
Yeah.
Like I said, I rode with Genest, and you're right. She does not know a stranger. And people try to walk away. She's, no. She'll still be talking to them, and she'll get them to listen. And she was the one that I'd call her and say, okay, who can I ask to help? And different things like that. And the story that we were talking about, Pastor Tom, I saw him just the other night. And he asked about Genest, and he openly said, yes, I was a Republican.
Yeah.
And she changed my mind.
Right.
Is that right?
Yes. Like stand in the gap. We stand in the gap between the candidates because she can't be everywhere.
No.
And we are there to represent you. And so it's important for us to know that we can trust you.
Yeah.
We can trust our candidates, that their actions align with their words.
Right.
And I can't go to a person's home and not believe in the candidate that I am representing. And then when you find out that maybe they are not being as truthful, that's a betrayal.
Right.
It's a betrayal of what we believe in.
Yeah.
It would be us betraying our community.
Right.
So we have to see them walk the walk.
Right.
not just talk the talk, but walk the walk. And we need action to align with their words.
Right. Yeah, great. And it's really undermining your entire project,
Absolutely.
right?
Because our community doesn't believe us,
Right.
then they're not going to engage
Right.
in the democratic process.
Well, and I think the other piece of it is it leads to the cynicism that people have
Absolutely.
about powerful people and politics, which is you often hear the refrain of, I can't tell the difference, right? And when you have this kind of stuff going on,
Yes,
it kind of lends credence to that,
absolutely.
right? And it's why it's so important for people like you and the rest of us to sort this out. No, we're not the same. We are, the choices here are real, significant, and we are in no way on the same plane here.
Absolutely.
We call out the wolves in sheep's clothing.
Absolutely.
So I can't thank you enough for doing this with me.
Of course.
And you know, ever since I've been part of the scene, I can't thank you enough for being in my corner and helping me out. And you guys are awesome. And
Well,
thank you for everything that you guys have done.
Well, thank you I'm honored to.
And we have seen you walk the walk and with the talk.
Yeah, appreciate that.
You know,
Thank you.
and that is such a great part of the clubs.
Yeah.